Bador, willkommen zum weiteren Video zu Brawl Stars. Heute im Video reagiere ich auf das Video 20 Minuten von nutzlosen Fakten zu Brawl Stars. Also da steht nur dazu, dass das Fakten sind, die einen zum Einschlafen bringen sollen. Aber ich will nicht, dass ihr einschlaft. Ich lade mein Video um 17 Uhr hoch. Es wäre nicht richtig, um 17 Uhr einzuschlafen. Das Video hier ist so ein bisschen im Spirit, was auch gestern hochgeladen wurde. Nämlich, dass ich halt ansatzweise ein Uncut-Video hochladen möchte. Beim Reaktionsvideo muss ich weniger schneiden. Das Video hier wird auch ansatzweise uncut sein. Wer neu ist, darf mal gerne ein Abo lassen. Ab morgen werden die Videos wieder normal geschnitten.
Pop culture references, Easter eggs, and unnecessary deep dives that nobody asked for. We cover it all today. Here is a solid 20 minutes of useless.
Link zum Originalvideo ist auch verlinkt. Könnt euch mal angucken, wenn ihr wollt.
Brawl Stars facts. Nightmare Sandy is the only Sandy skin where he doesn't fall asleep during his lobby animation.
Oh, das stimmt. Das ist der einzige Skin, wo er wach ist. Albtraum Sandy. Oh, das ist clever. Oh.
This is because the nightmares keep him awake. Pretty clever attention to detail there. A lot of you might have already noticed that the Toon Spike skin looks very identical to one of the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, stimmt.
Specifically, the green one, which is named Buttercup. Interestingly though, in the country Spain, it looks...
Wie hießen die anderen? Es lief ja damals im Fernsehen und damals, wenn was im Fernsehen lief, hast du das einfach geguckt. Da gab es noch nicht so coole Sachen im Internet. Ich habe safe Dutzende Folgen Powerpuff Girls geguckt. Aber die Namen, keine Ahnung. Heißt eins Bubbles? Ich habe keine Ahnung.
Very identical to one of the Powerpuff Girls. Specifically, the green one, which is named Buttercup. Interestingly though, in the country Spain, her name is Cactus.
Cactus.
I gotta play that one meme real quick.
Coincidence? I think.
Oh! As you may know, every brawler has a crying emote, but a small detail that personally I've never caught on to is that the robotic brawlers are usually crying and sweating oil in their emote. However, it seems this does not apply for all robotic brawlers, only the ones that use fuel. 8-Bit, Surge, and Lou are powered by electricity, especially Lou, who is literally an ice cream machine. Tick, on the other hand, is a bomb, so he doesn't need fuel. So for these reasons, these brawlers have regular tears and sweat. If you change...
Ey, diese Details, ne, da muss man erstmal drauf kommen. Und den meisten Leuten fällt das gar nicht auf. Mir ist es noch nie aufgefallen. Dass die einen Tränen haben. Okay, wild.
The game's language to French, you may notice that Rico's Ricochet skin has a different name, Clint Rickwood. This is a reference to Clint Eastwood, which acted in and directed many Western films, which is obviously the theme of the skin. The W. Otis skin animation is moving at 116 beats per minute, which happens to be the same BPM as the song Get Lucky by Daft Punk and Pharrell Williams. For some reason, in the Japanese language, Max and EMZ are not translated at all. It looks out of place, but maybe there's something to it. Miko is the only brawler.
Der steht einfach Ems und ja, okay. Gut, Eigennamen werden ja auch nicht immer übersetzt, ne? Japan-Experten werden da mehr dazu wissen. Aber, oder? Na gut, wenn die anderen Namen alle übersetzt sind. Ich habe keine Ahnung. Ich habe keine Ahnung warum. Nevermind.
It looks out of place, but maybe there's something to it.
Das sieht weird aus.
Miko is the only brawler with no balance changes. He did have one, if you want to count it, but that was a hypercharge rework that was given to every brawler with a hypercharge.
Okay.
In the Chinese version...
Wahrscheinlich wird dir einfach zu overpowered, wenn du da was veränderst oder halt noch schlechter. Ist wahrscheinlich einfach schwer zu balancen. Wild.
Of the game, mega boxes were never removed. They were always on sale for credits.
What?
However, due to the mega box event that went live in July 2024 for the rest of the world, they had to find a way to make it special, so they swapped the blue colors with purple. Rico's Ricochet skin is part of the 2020 anniversary series. However, this is wrong. The skin was actually released in December 2019, shortly after Rico was remodeled. It was part of a free Brawl-A-Days bundle, which included Rico himself, as well as the Ricochet skin. Bo holds the record for the most rarity changes. Pretty unique record.
Stimmt. Er hat als Meilenstein-Brawler angefangen, ne? Ich glaube nicht, dass er nochmal verändert wird. Aber ey, so nutzt das finde ich das Wissen jetzt gar nicht. Ich finde, das sind interessante Fakten.
He started as a epic brawler in 2017, then super rare in the same year. He was then put in the trophy road in 2018, which made him a common, and then back to epic in 2022 when they removed trophy road. He basically went full circle. In December 2023, when Shelly was remodeled, the artist accidentally forgot to put the band-aid back on her face. It would eventually return 2 months later in February 2024. It takes 19 bull shots to take out a high safe. Don't worry, I counted. It's actually 18 with a fraction of a shot, but realistically that's not possible, so 19. Elizabeth.
Oh, das war der Fakt schon. Okay.
Elizabeth Seda is the voice behind Piper, but interestingly, she also voices a familiar and annoying face, the Little Prince in Clash Royale. Who would have thought? Despite the fact that Rough Super
Not me. Als weibliche Voice-Actorin, da kannst du ja generell, da kannst du Frauen sprechen, da kannst du Kinder sprechen, egal ob Mädchen, Junge, animiert. Da hast du ja viele Möglichkeiten.
Damage, the game doesn't exactly tell you how much in its info screen. Colt was the first brawler to get a 3D remodel back in January 2019.
Boah, der erste Colt, wie der aussieht. Der sieht aus, als hätte er zu wenig gegessen, oder? Als könnte er einfach mal so ein bisschen eine Woche McDonald's vertragen.
Brawler Belle is based off a real person named Belle Starr, who was an American outlaw known as the Bandit Queen. She was married to Sam Starr and had a daughter named Pearl Starr. If all of these names sound familiar, that's because all 3 of them are characters in the game. Belle, Sam, and Pearl. I don't know why Pearl is an oven, but yeah, that's the daughter. They also had a son, and it's speculated that that may be Colt, but that one's not confirmed. The hat the Snowman Tick skin is using was inspired.
Alter, der Mortis sieht so cursed aus, ne? Wie deep geht denn die Brawl Stars Lore? Also, zumindest was den Namen angeht.
Insane. The old Mortis skin. Mortis still uses the hat in one of his skins, but the difference with the beta hat and the current one is that the beta was cut open at the top, a feature that can still be found in Snowman Tick's hat. According to art designers on the Brawl Stars team, the original inspiration for Fang was a video of a Michael Jackson impersonator who kicks his shoe off while performing some dance moves. That is the reason why in the game his main attack is his shoe.
Er kickt sein, das habe ich erst jetzt gecheckt, dass er seinen Schuh kickt.
And it involves flinging
Wieso
his
ist mir das
shoe,
nie vorher
just like
aufgefallen?
the video. On the other hand,
Er verliert ja sogar seinen Schuh. Das ist mir vorher wirklich nie aufgefallen.
Flinging his shoe, just like the video. On the other hand,
Fang was also ist mir das nie aufgefallen.
Even though Spike doesn't have a voice in the game, in a really old trailer, Spike is heard singing about what Spike does. There used to be a section in the Friends tab to add friends by their player tag. It is still there, it just looks entirely different ever since they updated the feature. However, it turns out that the original version of this feature is still in the game. In fact, it's right under the new one. Players discovered this after forcing their game to go in portrait mode. This isn't the first time Brawl Stars developers do this, but it makes you wonder, what's the reason for hiding it and not removing it?
Wahrscheinlich einfacher zu programmieren, es zu verstecken, als komplett neu zu machen. Ich kenne mich mit Programmieren ja nicht aus, aber es klingt nach einer Sache, die so ist. Weil viel mehr Programmieren ist ja einfach umprobieren und Dinge verschieben. Leute, die sich mit Programmieren auskennen, die werden mir vielleicht recht geben. Es ist leichter, was zu verschieben, was connect ist mit anderen Features, als das komplett neu zu machen, oder?
8-Bit Saloon Skin has a voice line that references the Clash games. Mr. Dragonfruit is the only Mr. P skin that contains the abbreviation Mr. but doesn't have a period after it. Literally unplayable. Do they even know how to spell? Nah, I'm kidding. Bull's voice line that says "Don't mess with the bull" is a reference to the 1985 movie The Breakfast Club, where in one of the scenes the line is said,
"Don't mess with the bull, young man, you'll get the horns."
On a similar note, Bull's wife,
guter Film übrigens, ich weiß nicht, wie der gealtert ist. Warte, Pam und Bull sind ein Paar?
Pam also references a 1975 movie called Friday Foster.
Bam, bam, here comes Pam!
The line isn't said in the movie, but it was the main tagline in promotional posters, Pam being the main character in the movie. In 2019, a bug caused 49 megaboxes to be sold for 49 gems.
Da erinnere ich mich dran. Ich habe es, glaube ich, nicht mitgenommen, als das im Spiel war. Aber ich erinnere mich dran, dass es existiert hat.
That was hundreds of dollars worth of megaboxes being sold for only $3. What a steal. The skins Mecha Edgar Unit 00 and Unit 01 is a reference to an anime called Evangelion. The reason why there is 2 of them named that way is because in the show, the mechas are assigned a unit number. The skins are basically a copy of Unit 00 and 01 in the show.
Wusste ich auch nicht.
Pretty cool. Years ago, several brawlers had their own classes. For example, BB was a batter, Leon was a sneaky assassin, STU an action assassin, and Piper a sniper, to name a few. Eventually, these custom
Das haben die rausgenommen, ne?
classes were removed though, and those brawlers were put in one of 7 default classes.
Ist auch besser, das in so übergeordnete Kategorien zu packen. Aber es ist weggenommen,
As you may know, Barry's attacks have a sound when they disappear, but for some odd reason, if you throw multiple of them, every time it plays the sound, it gets slightly louder every time. You can easily tell if a player you just played with is a bot or not by viewing their profile and taking a look at the additional stats in the top right corner. A regular account will have a year of 2017 or later, but bots will have 0. Red Dragon Jesse is the last remaining brawler
Aber du kannst ja einfach in-game sehen, ob die halt Gadgets haben oder nicht. Wenn ich mich nicht täusche.
without a custom skin background. Bull's B800 skin is inspired by the Terminator movies. That may or may not be obvious by simply looking at it, but the name is also a play on the model of the Terminator, the T800. Barry's voice line that says,
"We don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents,"
is a reference to a saying that Bob Ross used to say in a show from the 80s and 90s called The Joy of Painting.
We don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents.
He also references a song called Sweet Dreams.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Sogar ich. Hey, ich weiß manche Dinge.
Despite the fact that the Duo Showdown icon was updated to have only 2 skulls, which makes much more sense by the way. Why did it have 3 skulls? Must be for the 3rd player who teams. The old 3 skull icon is still used in player profiles. According to Supercell, Brawl Stars is located in a place called Brawltopia, and while we don't have an official map, fan-made concepts do a great job at showing where all or most game modes are located in Brawltopia. There are
Will das nicht im Brawl Park? Ich habe das Gefühl, das gesamte Kapitel mit Brawl Park, dieser Kurzfilm, das hat Supercell selber so ein bisschen über Bord geworfen und sagt, ja gut, das haben wir halt gemacht. Das gibt's sogar gar nicht mehr.
Dozens of skins in Brawl Stars that are superhero references. Some are more obvious than others, but this includes Kick-Ass, Gwen Stacy, Thor, Catwoman, Flash, and many more. I don't want to read them all, or else we'd be here all day.
Mit dem nächsten Update kommen noch mehr hinzu, weil es wird hier ein Superhelden-Update, dann aber wirklich.
But yeah, pretty interesting. Brawl Stars went through a couple name changes before settling for the one we all know, being called Project Laser in its pre-alpha days, Slugfest during its alpha days in 2016, and finally Brawl Stars during its beta in 2017. Yeah. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, I made an entire video about the topic back in 2020. Grom's description states that he's a security guard, but his weak point is flashbacks of a time he was working at a kindergarten. This is referencing a 1990 movie called Kindergarten Cop. In the movie, the cop, which is supposed to be...
Den Film habe ich sogar gesehen. Also mehrmals. Jetzt wieder Kategorie, ey, damals hast du halt geguckt, was im Fernsehen lief, weil das Internet gab's zum einen noch nicht in der Form wie heute und es gab nicht so viel Unterhaltung da halt. Aber da hast du halt viel mehr Fernsehen geguckt.
Grom, in this case, is assigned to go undercover as a kindergarten teacher, and the basis of the movie is just him having no idea how to handle kids. That is the lengthy and unnecessary explanation of Grom's description. You're welcome. There have been 17 different variations of the Brawl Stars logo, including the beta and alpha beta ones. Interestingly though, over half of those were after 2023. Now, longtime Supercell fans may notice that there isn't a red logo, which is something that every global game has done in the past to support the fight against AIDS, and it turns out that Brawl Stars is the only Supercell game that's never done a product red event, so there is no product red logo. A brawler's skin name will always put their original name under it or above it. However, if the name is part of a pun, it will be next to it, either on the left or right. Trust me, go look at every brawler's name and notice how the position changes depending on what way the name is being used. Colonel Ruff is the oldest character in Brawl Stars, and I don't mean age, I mean that he was in Brawl Stars before the game was even called Brawl Stars. Back when the game was in development around 2016 during the Project Laser days, Colonel Ruff was a scrapped character that never made it into the beta. However, in August 2020, he appeared in a minigame inspired by early development days. And then it made its way into the actual game in January 2021. Brawler mastery titles in different languages are often completely different lines rather than a simple translation. This makes it a little bit more personalized and special. For example, in Italian, Sandy's The Sleepy title was changed to You'll See Stars. Or Colette, which is the collector, is changed to Psychopath, Clash Royale, and many other brands. In the Chinese version of the game, there is a 3D social space where you get to chat with a party of 20 players. You join it from the friends menu, and then voila, you just walk around and talk. Honestly, not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. The backpack some of the players are wearing in this gameplay is apparently a cosmetic that you can equip.
Das ist so cool.
A different game.
China, die haben so viele coole
related note, kind of. Pre-registrations to download Brawl Stars in China started in March 2019, a few months after global launch. However, the game wasn't available for download until June 2020, over a year after pre-registrations opened. The arrows on STU's head go a different direction from the ones in his pin. In May 2019, an update caused the face on BB's bat to disappear, but only on iOS devices. Luckily, it was quickly resolved before the iPhone versus Android war began. The gem packs in the shop used to have unique names, like Fistful of Gems, Pouch of Gems, Satchel of Gems, Bucket of Gems. Whoa. Crate of Gems, and a Haul of Gems. Brawl Stars is actually the first game that doesn't have these names, which is weird because they did, but now they don't, and they haven't since 2019. From its beta all the way to August 2024, there have been a total of 60 loading screens. The Logmas Spike skin is based on a fictional story in the Clash universe of a log that went rogue during Christmas and ultimately became the village's tree. Both the skin in Brawl Stars and the decoration in Clash Clans are modeled after the log in the now deleted video for some reason. But if you want to find it, just search this. Despite Penny being
so random Videos, die deleted werden, ne? Warum?
In the game since 2018, the first time she appeared in a loading screen was in 2021 for the Brawl Days update. The brawler Ash has a face in its back. The face is that of Paul Chambers, known online as Paul Chaw. He is the creator of the Brawl Stars IP, so he's responsible for the style, vision, and every character up until Ash and Meg. Once you know that bit of detail, the face on Ash makes a whole lot more sense. For the first 3 years of Brawl Stars, the intro sound was almost the exact same with a few improvements here and there.
Nostalgisch. Sehr nostalgisch ist schön.
However, the first loading screen to have a completely different intro sound was in the Summer of Monsters back in 2020. Since then, the intro sounds have drastically changed, but it almost always has that familiar jingle at the beginning. Just counting the default skin voice lines, the brawler Sam has the most at 53. Speaking of voice lines though, Hank has the longest one.
You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers, and I will teach you.
Turns out the bird on top of Dynamite's head is there for something more than just looking cute. The bird is called a canary, and back in the early 1900s, miners would take a canary in a cage, and if it died, they knew that the carbon monoxide levels in the cave were lethal. In 2023, Brawl Stars landed itself in hot water after this loading screen was added to the game. People always assumed that Colette was a teenager because of the way she acts in the game. So understandably, a lot of people were baffled by the fact that Colette was represented in such a way in this new loading screen. This sparked a bit of controversy and led to a Twitter post from the artists of some brawlers sharing their ages. In the tutorial, you are told to shoot some TNT so that you can get to the boss behind the wall. However, you never see any TNT in the game again. That's because it's not part of the game anymore. TNT used to be placed in heist maps back in 2017, and at the time, heist was either you attack or defend the safe. So TNT was usually placed near some walls, and if you were defending, that was part of your defense.
Auch eine coole Idee.
If the TNT was blown up, so were the walls protecting your side. However, as more and more brawlers got the ability to break walls, jump, and throw, and heist was reworked into an entirely different game mode, TNT was no longer needed. An explosive object was added in the Godzilla game mode recently in 2024, but that wasn't the same TNT. Martin Schuler holds the record for the most amount of brawler voices, having done Tick, Gene, 8-Bit, Rico, Daryl, Frank, Terra, Mr. P, Sprout, Squeak, Otis, RT, and Larry and Laurie. He's also composed a lot of the music for Brawl Stars. The brawler Clancy is named after Clancy Brown, the voice actor for Mr. Krabs.
Oh.
When Sprout was first released, the developers
übrigens auch in der neuesten Dexter-Staffel, die haben noch mal eine Dexter-Staffel gemacht, die dann halt irgendwie 10 Jahre in der Zukunft spielt oder so. Da war der, der war da auch ein Charakter. Oder das ist kein Spoiler. Der war da, ich habe die Serie nur so halb geguckt, weil die ist aus meiner Sicht scheiße gewesen. Aber der war da auch ein Charakter. Im Deutschen ist zumindest ein Joke gewesen in einer Stelle, dass der Mr. Krabs-Sprecher derselbe ist wie Benjamin Blümchen. Zumindest klang der sehr ähnlich in der einen Szene. Aber ist derselbe? Ich glaube ja. Mr. Krabs und Benjamin Blümchen.
And the IKE turret with his super. It didn't take long for players to see what would happen if you move 2 IKE turrets close to each other, and well, it's pretty cool. Nina's bear is named Bruce, which was named after a developer's dog. Back in the Brawl Stars beta in 2017, it was actually possible to finish the game. Trophies were capped at 8,000 because the 16 brawlers available had a cap of 500 each.
Oh!
Once every brawler had reached 500 trophies, you had essentially beat the game. The size of a showdown map is 60 by 60 tiles, which is a total of 3,600 tiles. On the other hand, the longer map...
War fairerweise damals auch viel schwerer, auf 500 zu kommen als jetzt. Aber lustig, dass mit 500 damals finisht das. Und heutzutage sind manche bei 1500.
Or 33 by 21, which add up to 693 tiles. When they updated Piper's profile image a few years back, she didn't have teeth. The community thought she looked creepy as heck, so the developers went and added teeth. Reminds me of that one meme. The brawler Colt is named after Samuel Colt, who invented the 6-shooter cylinder in 1836. He named his invention the Colt Revolver. That might also be the inspiration for his name. All of this ties in perfectly as Colt's main attack is called 6-shooter and does actually shoot 6 bullets.
Okay. Ey, voll stark. Richtig, richtig gut. Checkt den Kanal aus, checkt die Twitter-Seite aus, die die ganzen Fakten zusammengesammelt hat. Ich würde sagen, wir sehen uns dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Das Video jetzt ist halt auch ansatzweise uncut. Das ist ab morgen. Ab morgen sind da wieder ein paar mehr Schnitte drin. Bis dann, Leute.